Whenever we're shipping cattle, we have systems we have to work with. And systems are hard to change. Like the old tub systems of old is what we're in right now. The thing is, cattle have changed a lot. So we had cattle in the days when this tub was built in this system. First of all, trucks are smaller and cattle were smaller. 1,200 pounds around that area was a fat animal. Now we're clear up to 1,800 pound cattle. So when we fill these tubs up to get a compartment in a truck filled, it's overcrowding the system. So everybody's updating and going, but we have to still work in the system as it goes. So this system is a tub, and it swings around, and you bring cattle from the slants back here around this corner. You come up, and whatever number you have on that compartment of the truck has to fit in here. You can't go get half, come back with half more. So sometimes you have to overfill your tub with these old systems. And so then we have to use real good stockmanship. So what we got to do is understand flow and keep everybody, and when people are loading cattle or bringing cattle up a tight spot like this, they get to really hurrying and pushing hard, but they're pushing the back and they're not watching the front. And when the front starts to turn back, it stops all your flow, and then cattle want to come by you. So when you're bringing cattle up into a tub or a box or anything, you want to make sure and look at the front of your cattle and keep them flowing. Block, block, block the front, and then keep the hind end coming. So as you come in here and you shut your gate and it comes around, you can't be inside with it. The cattle are too big to come over the top of you, so you got to stay behind the gate. But what happens is you have to, as you come around the corner here, the cattle lose sight of you when they hit the tight spot. And you have no pressure on, so a lot of times cattle will turn back there. So we've got to hurry up and get around this corner so we can start pressuring there, or somebody from the outside has to keep the flow going there while we're pressuring back here. But a lot of times when somebody steps up to the front, they turn these cattle back. And as soon as these cattle turn back here, the ones even going up, clear up the truck know that, and they quit wanting to go. And that's what kills our flow going to the truck. So when we're working here, if there's 1, 2, or 3 people, we all have to work together in unison. And we got to bring these cattle around, pressure on, and then that person has to step in and get that front one going and then step out of the way so these want to keep coming in and follow. If you got that flow and that continuity working, cattle will flow right up in here real well. Now this side here that we have shown now works best because once the cattle come in, it's a straight shot and they've got a full body length to go before they turn. When we load the left side or the west side, then when you set here, first of all, the cattle are taking pressure from this person back here, but they got to make a snake turn. And with fat cattle, it's real hard for them to make that turn, especially these real big, thick, well-finished cattle we have right now. And it also increases the case of bruising. Anywhere you see all the shiny metal, you know cattle are rubbing or pushing or bumping, and that's a sign. So this is going out. They're building a new processing area, but we still have to use it while it's here, and that's where good stockmanship comes in. Getting the right amount of cattle, keeping the right amount of pressure so you keep the flow going forward, but not so much pressure. And one of the things that is really a challenge is when people start running out of pressure and having enough power to move something, they go to yelling. And anytime you start yelling, the cattle back here, they take the pressure of the yell. And then if they have nowhere to go, they want to run over the top of you. The cattle up here that are away from the yell, think about it. When you start yelling and you're clear back here, these cattle, they don't feel the pressure of the yell, they just hear it and they turn around to see who's yelling. So you're actually slowing or stopping flow by yelling because these cattle turn and look at you. These cattle have nowhere to go. They either kick you or run back over the top of you. So yelling really has no place for this kind of a situation. What I would like to use is a flag or this kind of a noise. Something, I call it the rattlesnake noise, the rattle paddle noise. Something that causes them to move away from the pressure, but it doesn't cause these to move back to the pressure. And that's real important. Safety is always number one. When cattle start to come back on you, big fat cattle, and you don't have the gate, get out of the way and stay safe. And learn from each time you work and analyze what you do and learn how to work together as a crew, and it'll work a lot better, smoother, and be a lot safer for everybody.